A touchdown will do for the visitors.
Makes the situation crystal clear and lets you go out and play aggressive, though. You're not worried about trying to get in range, be measured for a field goal. You get to take the restrictor plate off the Red Dragon and give it a little bit more juice.
If there was a silver lining to surrendering that touchdown, they let it in on second down without spending their final timeout. So they preserved the minute 45 to go chase the lead, and they still have that timeout in their pocket.
One veteran quarterback stepped up on big downs, throwing the ball in the red zone with his team's game on the line. Another big-time veteran quarterback takes over with a 2-minute drill to try and go back and win it.
Now the noise at David Booth Kansas Memorial Stadium kicking in. Sorsby silences them for now. Takes the easy access throw to Cyrus Allen for 6, maybe 7.
See if Kansas gets aggressive at any point in this drive. Or are they willing to give up those dink and dunk passes down the field, knowing they've got the 20 and in where they really have stepped up all day long?
Sorsby handles that off-frame snap, evades the first wave, and chucks it into the Kansas bench. And we'll point out again here that Joe Royer has not returned to the game since converting a massive third down with a 20-yard catch. He was shaken up, and you feel his absence.
No doubt. You always hear the phrase, a tight end's the security blanket. He said, he's my security blanket in life. He's my downstairs neighbor. Anytime I need a hug, I can go down and check in the big guy. And now in a pivotal moment, you're right, nowhere to be found is Kansas going out here and playing man coverage, putting 2 deep safeties back, and trying to get some pressure on Sorsby.
2 downs to get 4 yards if necessary. They hit the outs, and Cyrus has them. Enough for a first down as they pick up on third. 1:30 and a timeout remaining. And there you see Gavin Grover, the replacement tight end.
Once again, Cyrus just finding in man-to-man coverage the receiver that's been his security blanket all day. 11 catches for 128 yards and 2 scores. Cyrus Allen looking every bit the #1 receiver in this offense.
With that completion, Sorsby now 26 of 38 for 342 passing. Feeling the heat. It's collected on the sideline, but out of bounds. For a moment, Jalen Todd gave the home crowd reason to celebrate.
This Kansas pass rush getting an opportunity to pin their ears back. We've seen some twists, some stunts up front. And they're finding seams against this Cincinnati offensive line, making life difficult for Sorsby in the pocket, who was unbothered so much of the game.
Sorsby leaves the pocket. Out at the numbers. Got a man! Isaiah Johnson! Pulled down at the 28 by Lyric Rawls. And there's a late flag down at the 30, right where they collided. For now, it's a 35-yard gain, and we await the penalty announcement.
The hat off again. You wonder if the receiver who ended up catching that ball was out of bounds, like we saw earlier in the game. This Kansas defense thinks this ball's moving back.
Illegal touching, number 0 offense. The receiver went out of bounds on his own, came back in bounds, and was the first to touch the pass. The penalty is a loss of down
right up against the Kansas sideline.
It's third down.
And earlier it was Bryson Canty. It was against Kansas, where you see, all right, so the number 2 receiver at the bottom right here. Again, the quarterback scramble, so now you're getting ready to turn upfield, and once again, now the question there, and that was right on the edge of did the defender get hands on him and force him out of the sideline? The referee disagrees, and it looks like his foot had already been out of bounds when he was contacted by the defender. So again, if you go out on your own, you can't be the first receiver to come back, even if you reestablish yourself in bounds and catch the football.
Timeout Kansas before third down and 10.
Kansas takes their first charge timeout of the half. 30 seconds in late.
Hold that thought, Mike. Let's take a look at Cincinnati's upcoming schedule presented by Modelo. A ranked Iowa State group next, and then Central Florida.
There's no safe harbor week in and week out, right? We understand, hey, Oklahoma State going through some changes right now. It's been a rough start to the season for them. But Dave Aranda's Baylor squad, Utah, who looked incredible in a matchup that was a slugfest against Texas Tech last week before Tech ultimately pulled away at the end. So as competitive a league as we have in sports, we know that.
I wonder if Satterfield's not asking about what you highlighted for us, that kind of bang bang action on the sideline, where did he run out first or was he shoved out?
Boy, it's right on the edge. Again, the defensive back gets hands on him, but it seemed like the receiver's body was already out of bounds. Did it happen right away? In which case, you can understand the call from this officiating crew. Satterfield clearly disagrees.
Ruled illegal touching to put them in 3rd down and 10. Wipe away the chunk play through the air, and since he's back at their 35-yard line, needing a touchdown, only one timeout. And 1:11 to go.
Still plenty of time. A quarterback that you just saw made big plays, but you've got to be aware right now, in the middle of this defense, Dean Miller, number 5, that's a pass rushing body. They've been creating levels by adding a 4th rusher, a little bit delayed, and this offensive line's had a tough time picking up these stunts.
After the timeout, Kansas had 12 on the field. Sorsby hit as he deals. That ball's up in the air. It's tipped, and this game was almost over.
Boy, JB, you wonder how much in those spots you miss Joe Royer, who made a catch similar to that in a similar situation early in the game. That just off the outstep fingers. Usually, when you get that tip ball, you gotta have the pick in the secondary. 4th down on the way for Cincinnati.
Lathan and Rawls with a near miss. Must have 4th down here for Brendan Sorsby. Steps up into trouble. A one-handed stab to keep the game alive. Noah Jennings into Jayhawks territory with 17.
This Bearcats offense won't blink. Play called back for penalty, 4th and game on the line, and Sorsby steps up in the pocket. His receiver makes a great play. Everyone selling out, mashing down turbo on the controller. What an incredible effort.
Still a timeout to utilize when necessary. Just under a minute to go. 4-man rush. Sorsby hit again, dealing middle of the field and caught by Goody. Standing tall in the pocket and wearing it for a new 1st down at the 26.
All these twists and stunts, getting home, getting hits, but it doesn't matter when your quarterback's this steely on him.
Sets the laces again, looking for the out for yardage and to stop the clock below the 20. Gets 8 on 1st down with Grover.
Still the timeout in their pocket again. Kansas up 4, so you don't have to worry about playing for a field goal. And here's a shot again of the big play here. Coming right through the middle. He just continues to stand in the pocket and deal.
They're running all kinds of games at the right side of that Cincy offensive line, aren't they?
Yes, they're trying to put Tarantayo in a blender at right guard. And it's led to some easy pressures. It's part of what's flushed Sorsby out of the pocket.
They'll run it here. Tawee Walker to the 5 and to the 2. The and short situation allowing Cincinnati to run it. They get a stop clock with 37 seconds to go, a rush of 17 yards. Walker stays in. Sorsby calls for the snap just as Kansas spends a timeout.
And snap, Kansas takes their 2nd choice timeout of the half. 30 seconds in left.
And here's the run. Like you mentioned, great situational awareness. You've got the timeout in your pocket. And a great job, the legs of Sorsby affecting the backside of that rush. You saw a defensive lineman hanging on the back end. And we mentioned 77, Tarantayo, putting him in the dirt on the front side of that play. Impressive, and for Kansas, great time out there. That was the 2nd time this drive. We had seen them caught briefly with 12 players on the field, having some trouble with substitution issues, and understanding you got to bow up once again down in the goal line with only 32 seconds left in this game.
Well, the strength of this Cincinnati team has been its red zone offense. A perfect 16 for 16. The vast majority of those have been touchdowns. The only thing they're hunting up here is the go-ahead score.
Normally, you'd be worried about Sorsby being the keeper. He's up under center right now with Zahersky in the fullback spot. Let's see if there's some movement pre-snap that gives Tua a chance to impact this with his legs.
Brendan Sorsby steps under center, opens up, and gives Walker untouched for the go-ahead touchdown.
Touchdown, Cincinnati.
Let's go, baby! Come on!
It lands with 29 seconds, and Kansas holding one timeout.
And boy, does that looming missed interception off the tip ball loom large right now. Have a chance to end the game, and you've got to take it because Brendan Sorsby and this Cincinnati offense were ready with big plays, and a stunned crowd here